we react to is what we call stressor. Like this is the snake. For example, I'm afraid about the snake. My reaction is the stress that I'm facing or I'm feeling. But that thing that we are referring to is the stressor. So we have stress and we have stressor. So any life events that we react to, it might be positive and it might be negative. Sometimes when people have mental illness in the hospital, they will now come and say, hey, my dear God, now that I'm getting better, now I just built my house, I just packed into it, and this thing is coming back again. We will just smile. Because it is not only things that are negative that will stress you. Even some things that are positive will also stress us. For example, the younger adults, if they are getting married, it's also a source of stress. Because it will alter, you have to adjust to so many things.
something is telling you to do that. Something is giving you the energy and the motivation to do that. And how? Let's say, for example, if you are here now and say, Emma, please make sure you walk around maybe for like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, you walk around because it is good for you, because you are sensing it that, wait, this thing, like they said, can result into this and this. In a way, something is reacting to that particular instruction inside of you, and that will motivate you to walk. So people that don't have this stress, like if you look at it, like the children, for example, if you have like 2-3 of them, and you give them an instruction, okay, you have to be reading your book every day, and that the one that is afraid to fail is the one that will read his or her book. The one that is not afraid, sometimes we are even that the parents are the one that is afraid. Sometimes he will fail, you lock away, and the other is like, mommy, don't worry. And at the end of the day, if that child fails, he might still be like, we will do it again, So those children, they will not be able to get up and do something very well. It's passing. The other one is so stressful. You've been reading since for 2 hours. It's enough now. At the end of the day, if this one is making it, before you know it, the other one might be depressed. The other one might have problem. The other one might start envy this one. The other one might start jealousy, the other one. Why? Because the little stress that is supposed to face, he refused to face it. So he's now facing bigger stress of failure. Bigger stress of comparing him or herself with the other person. When this one was doing it, where were you? When somebody is planting, stressing him or herself, when he was planting, where were you? But when the person is now harvesting, they are now like, So that is the way life is. So what you have done to avoid bigger stress is what we call EU stress. To tell us that at any stage in life we cannot avoid stress. Let's run round. Elderly people, let's run. The little running round for 5 minutes can save us from spending 500,000 in the hospital. Can save you from, spending your days in pains and all that. No, don't eat anyhow. Let's eat good food, healthy food. It's too stressful. And you can order bread. Every morning, you eat bread is very easy to get. But the person that is, even if it's not expensive, let me go and pluck a vegetable. Let me go and do this. Yes, it seems as if it's stressful. But at the end of the day, the bigger stress will be waiting for somebody that is avoiding the small stress. And that is why we see a lot of children today, they are avoiding sitting down in the class, to do study, wake up in the night and all that. We see them doing that because they are looking for quick way out. Quick way out will never help at any stage. Quick way out will never help even our health. God will help us in Jesus' name. So, EU stress can take you out of your comfort zone. Wake up every 5 in the morning and do little exercise. It's not easy to wake up. Oh God. It will take you out from your comfort zone. It will take some sacrifices, but at the end of the day, it will worth it. Then this stress is the one that will damage the system. So it is the one that can cause, all these issues that we are talking about. Now let's go to the stress in the elderly. So the question is, stress in the elderly, when we compare it with the younger generation, with the younger ones, it is more difficult to manage. That is the truth. It is yes. Is it difficult to manage? It is yes. Absolutely yes. Why? Because even when we are using like this drum now, we've been using it for a very long time. It's getting weaker and weaker. You can't compare it with a new one. the energy. Even with all the adrenaline and everything, the body is getting weak. We are getting slower. We are getting slow, in activities that we are doing. So we cannot have the same strength that the younger generation will have. So effect of stress on the elderly is greater. If you see a child now, only my jumping everywhere. If an elderly, I don't know if you remember one video that one woman, maybe in her 50s, she was just dancing, well dressed, went for the party, dancing. Before you know it, she just yawned and she died. But you see 5-year-old can jump from morning till night. So that is it with elderly people. Our body is not as strong as the younger adult's body. Then the unique relationship between stress hormones and the our age is very, very, significant and very, very crucial. For example, when the stress hormone is released, when we are faced with challenges and the stress, it aids inflammation of the body. And when there is that will also lead to some diseases, or if we have some issues in our body, it can also worsen it. So more stress equals to more inflammation, and more inflammation, equals to nothing is normal. It's the accumulation of stress. It is the way, and that is why sometimes all these things, they are very important. I'm sure people that are privileged hearing all these things from younger age, is that they will follow people from their young age. There's a study like that. They follow each and every, about 70 people, they were following them. Maybe from like their teens, 30 years old, they were following them. And all these things that we're about to mention, some of them are observing it, some are not observing them. At the age of 70, now, kind of conduct tests for them, and they found out that people that have been following, the ways to manage their stress, having friends, a lot of things that we're about to mention, they were healthier at old age. So all these things are very important, and it's never too late. Even if we have a kind of sickness, if we now manage it very well, we can still live longer. And I pray that we live longer in the name of Jesus. So stress in elderly can also reduce effect of vaccine, unlike younger adults. Then stress can also accelerate aging. That's why you see some people say, this person is just 60, he's just 50, and the person will be looking like 80-year-old, because we have different concept of age. Like we have biological age. Some people might be 20 years old, and their biological makeup, their physiological system is older than their age. Maybe it's now like 40. For example, somebody that has used like 20-year-old, 30-year-old that wants to go around anyhow, their biological age might be older, might be like maybe 40 compared to their chronological age. So that is why, because of stress, we see a lot of people, getting older than their age. So stress can accelerate aging. Okay, now let's talk about causes of stress. Now we understand a little bit about what stress is, what stress can do, the benefits and everything. So in the elderly, what are those things that can cause stress? In the younger adults, they have different things that can give them stress, like school and all that, marriage and all that. I know that there are some that can still cause stress later as we age. But then there are some things, some factors that are peculiar to the elder. Number one, I'll talk about it. surprised that when we are retired, we are free. You know, it's time for us to rest and everything. But retirement comes with a lot of challenges. And it's unfortunate that people don't see it. Even some people, their children don't even see it. They feel that mommy is at home, daddy is at home, they are fine. Whereas a lot of things are going on inside of mommy. A lot of thoughts are going on inside of mommy and daddy, but nobody sees it. Mama ìpínlẹ̀ ṣe ṣáà ti jí. Mama ẹ káàárọ̀ o, ẹ ti jí. And they will leave mama and baba alone. The retirement comes with a lot of things. Number one, loss of income. You know, source of income. There's no regular income again. And we'll be surprised that a lot of people, they are almost 70. They will put it in the official paper. They say official age is 50. Why? Because of that fear, that anxiety of facing life after retirement. So sometimes you'll be wondering, when you are not there yet, kí ló ṣe ọ́ change age tó ṣe kìíní. By the time you are getting close to retirement age, the fear will be coming up. What will I eat? How will I survive? And all that. All alone. You find out at that stage, you are saying yourself that, hey, I'm alone here. Because nobody will feel whatever you are feeling. So you seems as if you are all alone. The loss of identity and role. Somebody that's, this is our director, so, that position is lost. You know, that role is gone, is sitting there. So, and this is, and in life, we all want to feel like, and this is a position that if you not get there, some of them will just sit down, they will be looking at you. So all these things you feel bad. I've been there, you know, I was here. So you expect them to get, even if you are posted out of some places, when you go back, you are still in service. So you find out that some junior ones that they don't even like you, they will be looking at you like that and you feel bad. This is the same person that will run and come and collect my bag. You will enter the compound, nobody sees, they will just be looking at you. So these are the challenges, and you can't tell anybody. You will not, who will you talk to? Now that I'm retired, see the way they are behaving. You pretend as if nothing is happening, but inside of you, something is happening. Something is happening. Even when they react like that, another time you are going, a kind of hormone, stress hormone will be released, because they say, hey, how would they treat me today? How would they react to me today? You know, all those things is stirring up a kind of, you know, reaction inside of you. Then loss of status and authority. All the authority that you have while you're in service is taken away. Few years back, we have head of service. Now, another one. Few years back, we have governor. Now, another governor. But it's not the same way they will treat the ex-governor. It's not the same way they will treat the incumbent governor. So same thing with life. We lose those authority, we lose those status that are giving us pride, that are making us happy. And God forbid, if we now attach our self-esteem to that position, what would happen? When the self-esteem will be low, we'll now be feeling inferior. When we will not tell anybody. Those are the things that we are battling with inside of us. But when we say, hey, nobody is, mama is fine, we are sending money, we are sending everything, papa is okay. But they don't know the battle that they are fighting inside of them. So, then, lots of peer contacts, you know, friends are gone, friends that you've been playing together while you are younger, you know, you want to sometimes when they are doing radio program, hey, don't let me hear, I know that friend, 1996, help me to look for the number and everything. Something is looking for that person. You're already feeling lonely. You're already flashing back. Sometimes you think about it, I could remember that house. When we come back, even as small as me, that I'm your daughter, as small as I still say, this is my class when I was in primary 2. things, we've lost them. We've lost them. So the memory will be coming. And sometimes the memory might not even palatable. They might be negative. So those are the things that we battle with even after retirement. Then what about death of friends? There's still someone, yes ma'am. There's still someone that I'm still treating, presently. What happened? Friend. Maybe about 3 years ago, and it was so traumatic for her. And now she's facing with PTSD. But when we see an elderly person that is stuck, maybe because of the loss of somebody, when we say, Odeji, we will not take time to sit with them. In fact, someone was telling me that it's a professional, this is the work I'm going to do. I want to be sitting down with the elderly, I want to hear from them. I want them to pour out their mind. And this is the stage where you need to pour out your mind out the most. That is when you don't even see people around. Your children are covering everybody. So are you surprised that elderly people are coming down with depression? The time they need people the most, after retirement you now need people. After retirement you need people to talk to. You need friends, somebody to be closer. And that is when you are left alone. The children are gone. Sometimes there's loss of spouse, there's loss of friends and all that. So loss of companions. Threats to own mortality. Hey, people don't say all these things, Hey, somebody is dead, 65. That person too. Hey, elderly people will be thinking, it's like, hold down, this life, like someone was saying that he went for a party. Nobody wants to die, even in our hundreds, because that is the way God created us. He said in that party that they now said that their tradition is whoever stands up first and leave the party, the person will be the next person to die. The person now said that since the party helped me or since the past 3 days I'm still there, nobody is ready to stand up. So everybody is seated. What can it have today? So when things like this are happening around us, we feel threatened. Even people that have fear, ordinarily, they feel threatened. Like this person I mentioned, it was the reason why she came down with PTSD, thinking that, hey, if this can happen to a friend, very close friend, and it was sudden, so she developed PTSD. What about the elderly ones? There are lots of people are going around them, 75, 80 this, and you are there. Maybe 70 is going, 75, and you are there, 85. Something will be telling you that, your time is coming, So all these things, they are battling with it, but nobody knows. We just see them, they are fine. We are not really, sitting down with them to hear them out. Then divorce and widowhood. These days, this thing about divorce, some people still divorce, even after 40 years, 35 years of marriage. And you can imagine the sense of loss. So either somebody loses his spouse or you are divorced, sometimes you feel the same sense of loss. I know, even when you know that this divorce worth it, you still feel lonely. It is natural. So anybody, that is when some people say, Otiba is a lie. That person needs support. That person is either a man and a woman, because there will be sense of loss. The person is not dead, but you just take somebody out of your life. The same life that you believe in, I said it earlier on that stress is anything, any situation that will challenge, your body, your emotions, and everything, and that you will need to alter some things about your life. We don't like change. You've been doing some things, me and my husband, me and my wife, and all that, and all of a sudden, there's separation. It's not easy. Either by divorce, either by separation, either by death, it is not easy. So, but when people see, and we think that all is well, they are battling with it. Some people are still battling with these things, even after divorce, for years, 5 years, 10 years. day that everything scattered. Everything was still rosy. So this memory coming, it's source of stress sometimes. So if you don't know how to deal with it, it can affect us. So when you are divorced or you lose your loved one, then in a way you've lost your helper, sometimes companion, then you are lonely, you'll be grieving, then there's changes in responsibility. That is when you say, and I don't usually take children to school, but you have to do it now. Now as a man, I don't really go to kitchen, unless I want to just text my wife, or you have to start. So all those things, changing in responsibility and all that, will be giving you a kind of memory that will be stressing you. Then you now depend on others. Sometimes you see a woman that is divorced, people will even be running away from you. Whenever me fix the body, because you cannot do it all. As a divorcee or somebody that has lost, his or her spouse. So there are some responsibility, there are some things that you don't beg people before, and that you have to start begging for. Then sometimes we relocate. Understand? Yes. Exactly. They avoid them. And this is the time that they really need people around them. And it's not the person's fault. So we can see that a lot of things we are battling with, that people, and the stress we deal is the worst. When people know that, I've seen a lot of videos on internet that they say, Mama, you are the only one here. Let us help you. They'll go and build a house, buy fridge, buy everything. I say, today you've just put roof on top of Mama's house. What about Mama's inside? We psychologists, we always think of your mind, because the mind is much more important than what we see. The mood in the mind, is very difficult to heal. People might say, help me to buy spirit. But they don't know that what you are battling with is much more than the physical world. I was so pained, sometimes ago, that a boy will come to psychiatric hospital and come and buy antidepressants. Mommy, I want to buy. I said, what about your parents? He said, I can't tell them. And it pained me because I had to call them. I said, do you know that your son has been coming to psychiatric hospital for the past 1 year, using his own pocket money, his allowance to buy antidepressants? Say, you can tell him to come home and come and see his father. It was the mother saying, but supposing I called and I said, if you see his leg now is bleeding, I'm sure she will rush down. That is the way people react to elderly people. Mama, fine. Let's go. Help me to help Mama with this thing. The leg. Physiotherapists come. They will never call psychologists. They will never call counselor. They will never look for a helper, not even to help Mama to cook, to sit down beside Mama and let Mama be saying stories and all that. That is why sometimes when I go to my mother and I say, today I won't stay for long, just 1 hour. Before you know it, I will spend 3 hours. They want to talk to you. They will be telling you memories 10 years back. If you do this, the life is not like this. They want to talk, they want to express themselves, but nobody has been there for them. And that is why even outside I enjoyed their own system, because they have homes for the elderly. That home is not because you cannot cook. Some elderly people, 90 years, they still prefer to go to market and buy things. But when you see others, you share your experiences. You sit together, you share your experiences. So that is why I like forums like this. And I want to implore my mommies and daddies in the house. You can have your contacts. You can networking. You know, poor social networking will affect us. And sometimes all this memory loss, dementia, and everything we say is old age, is because we are not working on it, because it's not all the old people that develop all these things. So the question is, why is A developing these illnesses and B is worse? Let us look for that reasons and work on it. And this is one of the reasons. When we know the truth will set us free. So the another thing causes of stress in the elderly is the chronic illnesses. You know, like I met with someone who was diagnosed of having a kidney problem. The issue was, hey, God, oh, how will I do it? Will I be able to help myself? Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to do that? You know, functional impairment. The men, they grieve for what, even without any illnesses, elderly people still grieve for what they can do before and what they cannot do. So when it's not as a result of chronic illness, it's more painful. Because either we like it or not, our nature, you know, will call for rest. So the sensory decline, dependency, loss of money. Then another thing also is environmental stress, like all this pandemic. There's this one of my daddies, let me put it that way. If we go to what we'll be saying, if he's not talking about pandemic, then COVID, he'll be talking about kidnapping. Hey, these people, young adults, what concern them? They are doing their own thing. They are going to school and everything, as if nothing is happening. But the elderly, you see their mind, they will be thinking of their children in Sokoto, Kiniko, hello, they say, oh, we did not pass that Ibadan. You just see the children laughing that, mommy, it's not their fault. So this environmental thing, this global, you want to go and give birth to another one? No way. So all those fears, they are there, even if they are not saying it out. They have that fear. Where is Lagbaja? Where is Kiniko? In fact, even as we that we are still your children, if I call you 30 minutes, you did not pick, hey, I'll be going up and down. I was not wondering, say, hey, our mothers, they tried, though. That time there's no phone. No. How did they cope? And somebody will just say, mommy, I'm traveling to Kaduna for my NYC, and they will live like that, and you will not hear anything for the next 1 week. Even if they write letter, 2 weeks, you have not received the letter. It is after 2 weeks I say, how did they manage for the 2 weeks? So either there's phone or there's no phone. See, elderly people, they have this fear. It's natural, it will just come. Yes. So when they now come, even mommy, even when you come some of the day, they say, are you sure? Maybe they are lying. Maybe one to me until they see. And when they see the people will say, people will say, I wanted to, Mama, I wanted to. You see Mama very happy, seeing the children around and all that, and those things that are making them happy. They are even, some of them want to Japan, US, everything, and they're alone. And they're alone, even when they need them the most. So all these things affect the elderly people. Then another thing is, we said sometimes we are too, optimistic. Sorry to say, yes ma'am, unrealistic goals. Sorry to say, we need to prepare for this age. The reality is, when we need them the most, that is when we see this one, once it reaches Lagos, mommy, I'll be traveling to this, I'll be traveling to that. If you are now expecting at this stage that they must be around you. You want to see the grandchildren. And sometimes you even want the grandchildren to come. They say, I cannot leave my child for yeah. I said, it's not this same mother that killed you. Some people will be coming and say, I don't feel So it is the reality of life. So when you are now angry, because I've seen a lot of elderly people being angry, if you are doing that, you are stressing yourself the more. So all this high expectation, let's prepare for this stage. Let's prepare, let's just be praying, let's thank God there's phone. Do video calls, do everything. That is why I said it is the elderly that will understand the elderly. Make friends among yourself, my mommies and daddies. Make friends among yourself. Talk about your children, discuss about life, discuss past. Look for your old friends, talk to them, phone them, do that. If you are waiting for somebody to come and put grandchildren, even now that there's no extended family, before you will bring your wife, you will bring your husband, all this upstairs will be one family, will be happy together. There's nothing like that again. So all these things we must face it. Yes, we prefer that life, but then, and that is why if you travel and you see a lot of them having issues, depression is common among the white people. Why? Because in fact, when I traveled a few years ago, you might be living in the same building. You will not know, this is your door, your flat is facing another door. You will just be seeing that door. You might hear once in a while that the door will just slam, but you will not know the person staying there for months, for years. You might not know your neighbor. So they too, they've been like that. It is now that we are copying them. Our children are now copying them. I can't leave my children for. Before, when your child is like 1-2 years, so you are going to be playing with mama. Go and stay with mama. Mama will train you. I'll be free. It is no more like that. So it is like, but then outside there, they have group, elderly group. You can go there maybe 1 hour in a day and all that. So if we don't have it, thank God we are here in the church of God, so we can still do that. We can make friends among ourselves. Then another thing is unforgiveness and bitterness. I want us to put it down. And actually, because sometimes when you put something down, it relieves you. It leaves your mind. It's like you are removing it from your mind and putting it on that paper. And write it. If it's difficult to say, and write it like this person are forgiving you. Because unforgiveness and bitterness is a major source of stress. The same stress hormone that we release when you see snake, when you remember, you know that something will say, Lagbaja, we are killing ourselves. Some people will say, I can never forgive that person. We are killing ourselves. So we are not forgiving that person because of that person, but because of you. Because of heaven, and for you to live, even, let's forget about heaven. Even for unbelievers, you have to forgive so that you will have peace of mind. Because that stress within is worse than the one we see. So unforgiveness and bitterness, let's work on it. Let's think of what has happened in the past, even from our secondary school. Yes, primary school. Somebody must have done something that is very, very painful. Even teachers must have done something. I could remember one girl that was so bitter that she did not, she said she did not bring out her notes. The teacher entered and she just put English test, and she told them, excuse me, I'm coming, I want to go and get some things. And this lady brought out her book, and she was still reading, like still looking at it. Okay, let me still search. And this teacher entered, and immediately she entered, she locked her locker. And so the teacher said, who are those people? I had, and she raised up her hand, and she said, come out. Ole, kiniko. Even the whole class testified that no, she did not do it. And she took that lady to the staff room and they started beating her. And then I could not believe. When this person was telling me, I couldn't believe it. And everybody was saying, no, ma, she did not do it, oh, she did not do it, oh. At the end of the day, even other teachers in 7th grade, no wonder. She will be getting 2020 in business studies. She will be getting 2020. Even my test, go and bring your pen and come and rewrite. They did a lot of things. And she now said when she got back to the class, she said, who can borrow me? Say, about 10 people say, take my pen, take my pen. And she went and she wrote some tests again because they didn't believe her. And she passed. She still got the 2020. But at the end of the day, she left the school. This teacher started looking for her to beg her. So some things can be so painful. The teacher was not asking everybody, do you know where Lagbaja is? Do you know where Lagbaja is? I just want to beg. I've offended her. So there are some things like that, that even people that you see the person, something will be released to your system. Because see, so the same fight or flight, you'll be looking for another. Even when you see that, you see the person, you want to jump up. The same energy that you need to jump the fence will be released to your system. For what? And you'll be in that paper. And even when the person is not there, the person is sleeping, when you remember in your aspect, like the same stress hormone. And do you know that this